Tiny Tim. Oh, there we go.
Uh,
Tiny Tim in the house.
hey, hello, David. How you doing?
Doing good. The host of the Fantasy Football Fever, which I believe is live Fridays at uh 11. Wait, am I correct? 9 p.m. Eastern or
Actually, yeah, it is Fantasy Football Fever. We go on at 10:45 Eastern, 9:45 Central,
okay? Got it. And
TJM
but
3774. That's the channel to go to.
yeah, but football season is coming to an end, so unfortunately, it will not be seeing that show until next season.
Actually,
Uh,
what we've been doing
oh,
for what we've been doing for the last couple of years, actually, we kind of do things like we kind of review the scouting combine. We kind of do like a mock draft, for when draft season comes up. We come up with a lot of material sporadically during the off season, and the big time, of course, is August. That's when we take a look at
okay.
division reviews. We kind of predict how every team's going to finish that year, and then we have like postseason predictions. So we have stuff throughout the year, throughout the summer, every once in a while. So keep everybody updated.
It won't be every single week though. It'll just be from time to time, I assume.
Gonna be from
Right?
time to time, probably until maybe late July, early August. We'll go back to weekly.
Okay. Are you watching the Super Bowl this year, or are you just gonna be boycotting it?
Well, I've been torn between it because, for one thing, the Kansas City Chiefs. Some of you may or may not know, but the quarterback for the Chiefs is an East Texas boy. Grew up in a town called White House, Texas, which is about an hour drive away from where I live in Longview.
Oh,
But it seems that the referees have been kind of protecting him, probably as much as they used to protect Tom Brady back in the day.
well, not
Oh,
not by not at this level though.
yeah. But then on the other side of the coin, me being a Dallas Cowboys fan, I mean, you see the shirt I'm wearing, you see my flag, you see my banner over here. I got a lot of other stuff on my wall too. The other side of the coin, ever since 1989, I've had a pure, unadulterated, 100% deep seated hatred for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean,
Oh,
yeah, that's it really began in 1989, but the rivalry goes back a little bit earlier than that. But it was '89 when they did those bounty bowls. Of course, 1989, of course, was Jerry Jones' first year as the owner and Jimmy Johnson's first year as the head coach, and
yep.
the Eagles' head coach was targeting players here, and both of those games were absolutely ugly. And ever since
Okay.
then, I've had this hate for the Eagles. I started calling them the Filthy Delphia Chickens. So now, so now who you got? You got the Filthy Delphia Chickens, and then you got the Kansas City Swifties.
Yep.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Taylor Swift is a cool chick. I mean, she's good eye candy for the guys. I mean, I'm not really a big Swifty fan, of course, but I think
I
she's
respect
cool.
her for what she's done in her career and accomplishments, but I'm just not. You know, I'm not like a, one of those big fans. I'm like
Right.
a I'm like a casual, if you will. Um,
Right, exactly.
but I don't follow her career or anything. If she's on the radio, then
Right.
it is what it is. I don't. Um, so yeah, the Eagles. I mean, this is the second time in the second where we had the same Super Bowl matchup. The Chiefs, 49ers happens twice. Chiefs won both of those, and now it's the Chiefs and Eagles. We all know what happened last time. And that's why I'm not going to be watching it because it's going to be the same thing again. You know,
Hmm. Yeah, I've
that's how
heard.
I feel.
Yes, that's what I've been hearing from a lot of people. A lot of people saying they're not going to watch the Super Bowl, and I mean,
Yeah,
you can have your opinion. I respect it, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. So,
yeah.
oh well.
Um, do you have a second favorite football team in the NFL? Because the Cowboys has not won anything in my lifetime.
Yeah, well, the Chiefs actually happen to be my number two team. I actually started rooting for the Chiefs back in 2000. I want to say 2001. At that time, I was living in Springfield, Missouri. I lived there for about 10 years, and my friend kind of got me watching the Kansas City Chiefs games, so I kind of became a fan. So they basically became a number two team, but of course my number one team, of course, Cowboys. So
Yeah. So the Chiefs are basically your favorite American uh, league team. I assume.
right,
Um, but hey, at least you've been following them before the refs, took over everything, which is complete bullcrap.
right.
Um, but it is what it is. So, fantasy football fever. Is there anything else that you're a part of, or is that the only thing that you're? Oh,
Well, I'm
I
also a
forgot.
part of
A pistol. So I forgot.
that's right,
Right.
the Pain and Game Pick'ems. Yeah,
Yep.
we're gonna be having our Super Bowl predictions that will be this coming Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on the A Pizzle 90 channel.
That's right. And shout out to him for the inspiration for me to do these calling streams and also season 02 as well. Um, which I'll be doing once per season, which is spring, summer, and fall. What year did they start doing episodes or so?
Well, it actually started on LC Muscle's channel. I want
Oh
to
yeah,
say
that's right.
five. I want to say I started doing Pain and Gains about maybe five, 6 years ago. That's when I started doing that. So, and
Okay,
I've had a good time doing it.
that's pretty cool. Uh, I'm just saying streaming link to someone else here in the meantime. Uh, is there any goals that you want to do for 2025?
What's that,
Even
bro?
though is there any goals that you want to do in 2025? Even though we're in February, but I'm just curious.
Well, um, I would like to go see another Cowboys game probably next season. I
Okay.
went to a game. I went to a game. Uh, I want to say it was 2021. It was I
Huh.
think it was week three, and it was a Monday night game against the Eagles. And in that
Huh.
game, the Cowboys just tore those guys apart. I mean, it was an awesome game. For those of
Yeah.
you who have never been to AT&T Stadium, I'm telling you that place is huge,
Yes, I could
beautiful. It's
tell.
a beautiful place. So hopefully this next season, I'll be able to go see another home game over there.
Yeah, it's very big. It's like a $1 billion stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and uh, and it's indoors, which is what definitely needed. I'm
Yeah.
surprised that the Texas Rangers, who your favorite baseball team, won the championship 2 years ago, uh, back in 2013, they became the World Series champions. Uh, I was surprised it took them this long to have a new indoor stadium because um, you know it's very hot in Texas. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why,
The summer is very hot down here. So
yeah,
yeah.
and then that's why it took them so long to uh I'm just curious on why they took so long because that's why a lot of free agents went to the Rangers because of the heat and all that stuff. I don't know how they did played in that stadium throughout the summertime, which is crazy. But
Yeah, you got
I
me
mean,
on that one.
yeah, and what happened, back in 2023, they got their new stadium back in 2020, and eventually free agents came and they won the World Series. So they should have learned their lesson. I mean, they should have done that way back years ago. You know,
Yeah.
uh, um, but and as for A. Pizzolini is concerned, he is no longer supporting the Dolphins until sells the team or get rid of the head coach and offensive coordinator. So
I think it's some guy named Greer.
yeah,
I can't remember who it is, but yeah, the management for the Dolphins has not been to his liking so far, and of course with my
yeah,
Cowboys, I was not not too thrilled when they decided to name Brian Schottenheimer the new head coach of the Cowboys, but at least they at least they did get Matt Eberflus, who was the coach of the Bears for a couple of years. He is now the new defensive coordinator, and
huh,
they got I want to say his name is Clayton Adams. He was the offensive line coach for the Arizona Cardinals for a couple of years. They just signed him as the offensive coordinator. So
okay,
hopefully we'll
interesting.
get things looking up pretty soon. So
Yeah,
we'll just have to see what happens here.
yep. And how to drag it to the live chat? I sent you the streamer link since it's your turn to join in. Um, so hopefully Dragon will be able to come. Um, let me see. So, what's your advice for those who want to do the fantasy football league? Because, uh, me personally, I am part of the chat, but it's just that I've been so busy with everything. I just said, let it be auto just to see what happens, and probably I really have to look into it next year. You know,
Yeah, uh, yeah,
it's a lot of
probably
work.
probably one of the best things to do. Kind of plan like a pre-draft. You know, like pick like players that you want to try to get them into a list here. So that means whenever it's your turn to draft and a player that you have is already on your list, he'll be ready to be drafted right then and there. And also, you really have to pay attention to your injury reports. You gotta
Yeah,
check them out every day, so you'll make sure that you don't put in a player who is actually scheduled to be not playing. So that's a very
yeah,
important thing right there.
yeah. That's one big thing with the injuries.
Hmm.
Injuries basically every day in the NFL,
Right.
unfortunately. Uh, do you try fantasy football? I mean, baseball.
I did. I did a few years ago. Was didn't really excite me that much. Um,
Uh,
I used to do fantasy NASCAR, but they didn't do that anymore. Uh,
uh,
I played it on Yahoo, and somehow they just didn't do that anymore. And I was kind of bummed about that. But I used to do fantasy
uh.
NASCAR. Not really into fantasy basketball or hockey or anything like that. I mainly do fantasy football.
That's the biggest fantasy sport out there.
Oh yeah.
Um, but well, let's see what happens in the Super Bowl. I know what's going to happen. Unfortunately, it's going to be the Chiefs once again. You can mark my words. Um, but I thought it was going to be the Eagles and Bills. I thought I really thought that was going to be the Super Bowl matchup, but unfortunately, the refs
Yeah,
and the
it would have been really nice to see Josh Allen get into the Super Bowl, but hopefully he'll get there someday.
yeah, and me personally, I don't see that happening anytime soon because 0-4 against Patrick Mahomes, and
Yeah, in the
they
playoffs,
always find a way. Yeah,
but he's of course he's 4-1 against Patrick Mahomes during the regular season.
yeah, but they always find a way to lose. So, thank you for coming here, Tim, and I hope to see you sometime later this month or whatever. So, yeah,
Yeah, just don't forget, y'all. We got the Painting Game Pick'ems on April's 90s channel this Wednesday, 10 Eastern, 9 Central. And this Friday, my show, Fantasy Football Fever, with John Flynn and John Natali at 10:45 Eastern, 9:45 Central. Y'all don't miss it. It's a big show, Super Bowl.
yes, indeed, and Super Bowl predictions for the Pickens.
Yeah.
Um, so I'll see you there, Tim. Thank you for joining.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.